What is going on, guys? Chris Grant here, and I've got what I think is an interesting way to go out and find some wholesale distributors for those of you who are interested in looking. Now, this is a method that I actually found from someone who wants to buy businesses, and they decided to take PPP loan data or payroll protection program loan data and start mining that for businesses that they may want to buy. And as soon as I read what they were doing and how they were doing this, I said, you know what? We could use this information to find wholesalers and distributors where we may not be able to go out and, search for them in a Google search, or they may not show up, or they may not have a website or anything like that. But their information was given to the government when they took a loan. Now, of course, not all of them are going to be here. That's absolutely impossible because not every single business in America took one of these loans. However, there are going to be a fair amount in here, and I want to show you exactly how to be able to use this data to find the information you might be looking for, and hopefully some distributors that maybe other people aren't finding. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the Google machine and we're going to put in PPP loan data. And the very first thing that pops up is the Small Business Administration PPP data right here. And once we open that up, it's going to give us all of this information. There's content, there's forgiveness reports, there's data on achieving equity, etc. We just want to go to the all PPP loan data. That's all we're looking for. And here, you're going to have several files, 12 of them, as a matter of fact, of different loans that were given out. There's a dictionary up here, and then each one of these is a different data set, and there's 12 of them. Now, there is so much information here that I couldn't even upload these to a Google Sheet to show you guys that way. So I actually had to use MacBook Numbers program, which I'll show you here in just a moment. All right. So you're going to want to download these. All right. This one here all the way through number 12. That way you can manipulate this data for yourself. All right. Now, before you go and actually open up this CSV file, you're going to need one other piece to the puzzle. The data that's given to us is going to be stuff like the business name and where they're located and what bank helped them and whether or not the SBA fully funded it or fully backed the loan, etc. and so on. A bunch of stuff you don't need to know. The thing that's not going to show up is it's not going to say, hey, this is Jim and Bob's wholesale shop. Okay? It might be something like Brylac Inc. or something like that. And so what you're going to need is you're actually going to need the NAICS code. This is known as the North American Industry Classification System, and it's a set of numbers that every single business gets when they start a business, all right? And you've got to file this when you file for PPP loans and things like that. If you took a PPP loan, you know that you had to give them an NAICS number. Well, and these aren't things that you're going to memorize, of course. So you're going to go back to the Google machine and you're going to look up NAICS codes. And the second option here is going to be from census.gov. You're going to open this up. And when you open this up, you're going to come to an NAICS search screen right here. And you're going to notice that all of these over here, well, I've got wholesale showing up right here. In this little search box here, you can actually put in a keyword or a code. Well, we need to find out what the code is, so we're going to put in a keyword, and we're going to put in the keyword wholesale, if I could spell that correctly here. Wholesale. And we're going to hit go, and then we're going to be able to pull up all of the NAICS codes for wholesale. Now, what I went and did is this is a really long list of wholesalers. There's everything from laminate and wood merchant wholesalers all the way down to things like heating equipment merchant wholesalers. Well, what I did is I hit the Command F or Control F in your, if you're on PC, and I typed in the word grocery, okay? And let's go ahead and back that out here. I put in grocer, and once I put in grocer, you're going to see here there are two options. There's general line groceries merchant wholesalers, and there's groceries general line merchant wholesalers. All right, they both have the exact same NAICS code 424410. All right. So that's all of the data that we need. We've got the PPP data, and we also have the NAICS code information that we need as well. The next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to open up the file from the government that we got. All right, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to open up my numbers file. And you're going to notice that what I've done here is I've actually went into the little search function and I put in the code. Now I can't do it right now, and I can see that grocer came over here from the last search that I did. But you're going to notice that row number 4457, Fred S. Chesser and Company in Temperatesville, Virginia. If we scroll over to the NAICS code, bear with me just a moment, let me find it here. There it is, 424410. All right. Now I can go ahead and gather this data and all of the other ones that are in here. There are others in this one particular file. This is file number 12 out of all 12 of them. There are going to be other businesses in here. And now I can take this information and I can start looking them up. I can look their business name up. I can look up their address, which I'll actually just go ahead and I will grab this address here and we'll run back over to the Google machine, and we'll pop this address in, and that is in Temperatesville, Virginia. And sure enough, 31494 Wallops Island Road, Temperatesville, Virginia. We've got Robert C. Darby and Sons and Fred S. Chesser and Company, and we can pull up their information. And they don't have a lot of information here. Okay, this is not one of those wholesalers that's going to be easy to find with a Google search. Even if you were looking in Temperatesville, Virginia, it may never come up. All right, but we've got this data now, and we've got a phone number, 757-824-3912, so we can reach out and see about finding them. And then, of course, right here, we've got the chamber. Looks like they're a member of the chamber, and so we could email them, we could fax them, we can call them. If you're in the area, you could show up. It looks like they might be farm fresh produce and agriculture, so it may not be a place that's actually going to pan out and be a good lead, but we've got so many others to go through in all 12 of these files that are going to be businesses that we could reach out to. All right, and you don't have to just stop at grocery wholesalers. Okay, we can go again back to our NAICS codes over on the census website, and maybe we want to look for frozen dinners or bakery products, or maybe you want juices or meatless patties or whatever it is. You can search through all these different NAICS numbers, pull them up in all of that data from the PPP loan data, and then start reaching out to these people. This would be a great project for a virtual assistant or a team member rather than yourself or someone who's really good at manipulating data, because there is a ton here. Now, there are probably some easier ways to get this data. I did see that there were a few places like ProPublica that offer this kind of data, and so maybe be able to go ahead and just pay for this data, or maybe even get it for free, which I haven't looked into, but I'm going to now that I know that all of this information is out there. So hopefully you can use this and find a couple of wholesalers that maybe other people are not finding or even looking for your own business, and I hope this is helpful. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'll talk to you soon.